Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Give me some juice.
Man, you see this? Y'all see this?
Welcome to another edition of Giants Access Blue presented by Ford. I'm Bob Papa, the Quest Diagnostics Training Center. Got a really cool show lined up for you. You're going to hear from Ashlyn Harris, former U.S. goalkeeper, now a member of New York, New Jersey, Gotham FC. But to get things started, here's a look at a segment of the Eli Manning Show with Fat Joe as his guest.
Yesterday's guest is not today's guest. We rockin' tough with that Afro puff.
You're not allergic to shellfish, are you?
We'll find out. I think these will go well with my dad bod.
I think they're perfect.
What's up, fellas? Hey. How you doing, man? We got you in the Bronx, man. That's crazy.
This place is awesome. How'd this come about?
Well, you know I'm a sneaker collector, so I've been collecting sneakers for over 30 years. It was a natural progression to open stores, and so, you know, I made sure that I have a hub for my people. You know, we're across the street from the Prizes. This store looked like it's on Madison Avenue.
No doubt.
We have a school in the back where kids come after school programs sanctioned by the Board of Education, and they learn computers, get mentored, stuff like that. So any little inch we could do to change the trajectory of our community, we do it. And it's about the sneaker culture. I see y'all rocking them. You like the light blue for the eyes, huh? This guy, he got a trick going over here, right? You know how, this guy got a trick going. He know how to play that game, right?
I'm not scared to lean back.
Let's go show us the rest of the store.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's see this place.
I'm about my business. Ain't got the time. I'm about my business. I'm about my business.
I read in your memoir that Michael Jordan helped you open this place. How did that come about?
Well, what happened was I went and spent hundreds of thousands opening a store, and I brought my friend from Nike up there, and I was like, yo, this is my new sneaker store. He was like, yo, you got permission? I said, what permission? He was like, no, it's like you got to get sanctioned, like you got to get vetted and everything. I was like, nah, just, I thought we was cool. He was like, oh, no. What was crazy was that night, Jordan had a party, like a brand Jordan party in New York. So I'm up in the parties and you hear this just big voice. It's Big Joe, Big Joe. And I turn around and I look, everybody looks, and it's Michael Jordan. He said, your grand opening, I'll be there, your grand opening, I'm there. And then the same guys who told me no ran over and said, I guess you got a store. Yo, check this out, come over. And that's how it happened.
What was it like on the streets here in the 90s, hip hop, and like you had the boom box? How were y'all listening to music then?
The Bronx created hip hop, there's no doubt about it. And they had a chokehold. They were a dynasty for the first 10 years of hip hop. If you wasn't from the Bronx, they was not hearing you.
Right.
It was just the Bronx, the Bronx, the Bronx. That spawned the Jay-Z's, the Diddy's, the Dr. Dre's. That spawned a different level of entrepreneurship and ownership and equity, where now we actually have rap stars that have become billionaires.
It's awesome that you're bringing all these artists up, and it's not new to you, right? I mean, you brought Big Pun onto the scene. You worked with Ashanti.
I did the first collab with Ashanti, Big Pun. You know, I discovered DJ Khaled. And when I met Big Pun, he blew my mind lyrically, where I was just like, yo, we just gonna make him the Spanish Biggie.
Your boy Big Pun wrote a song about the Giants. I mean, I got the lyrics.
You got the lyrics?
I got the lyrics right here.
Let's hear it.
All right.
What was the song called? New York Giants?
New York Giants.
New York Giants. You know, this is for the 25 to life bidders, pork fried rice eaters, New York, New York, ice rockin' tight eagle beaters. Set off the fire and form the alliance, South Bronx, Brook, Lawn, Bob Papa, New York Giants. Come on.
That was nice.
I mean,
I like that. That was nice. Yeah.
You ever think about doing it for the Knicks? Why didn't you ever do a Knicks song?
You know, I would love to, but they got me so caught up in go New York, go New York, go.
Can you elevate his garb right here? I don't know what we call this, but how do we elevate Eli's attire right here? Do you have any recommendations, shoe-wise? We can't do anything about the outfit right now.
The sneakers ain't that bad, but we could get them some better ones.
Yeah, I can pull these off?
No, you can pull those off.
I can pull these off, you think?
I need those too.
You need those?
You know, Eli used to hoop. You know, he played above the rim, so those look like some basketball sneaks right there.
I can dunk in these.
Come with us.
Do a bath.
We land in Miami first.
Yeah.
So, but
I'll give you
I can definitely sport these.
Worry about it, man. You got wine.
Match my vest a little bit. Match my shirt.
like over.
I color coordinated today. You've collaborated with so many amazing artists over your career. Who are some of the top 3 or 4 that are just, you know, like you were almost in awe as you're working with them?
For me, you know, my first big collaboration was with KRS-One. He in the Bronx, he's beyond the legend. Like, he's the guy we all wanted to be like. And I actually did a song with him on my second album. And when I listened to it now, I said, damn, Joe, you went toe to toe. Like, I never shied away from the big moment. And LL Cool J is my idol. And so he put me on my first big record. It was I Shot Ya. LL Cool J was selling 4 million records. I probably was selling 100,000 records at the time. The person I never worked with that I always wanted to work with was Dr. Dre. You know, he's the only guy I never got to like lock in with. But other than that, I've worked with so many people, man. I worked with all the best, you know, from the Kanyes to the J-Los to the just everybody.
Yeah. We met some guys, some interesting characters. We actually met with Fabio, and Eli rapped with that. We got to show you that video and
Fabio Foreign.
Yeah.
He's a tricky style rap. So if you keep up with him, you nice.
That's that drill rap.
That's that drill rap. You keep up with him, you nice.
He nailed it. He nailed it.
Home is in the studio, fresh off the set. New York hip hoppers, latest threat.
New York hip hoppers. Yeah, boom.
Yeah,
boom.
Crazy.
Pow! I'm getting hungry. Y'all getting hungry?
So,
You're hungry. I know you're hungry.
I'm gonna take you to the spot.
What are some of your favorite dishes?
Man, this guy's. I mean, if you want to talk food,
here they come.
There's nobody messing with this guy. Oh my God! If you want to talk food, there's nothing close. Yo, Jimmy, my brother. Wow.
This is
Jimmy, thank you, man.
A little bit. This is
it's amazing.
Break it down to him. This is penning, which is pork roast, which is phenomenal Latino. This legendary, and you got arroz con candole. That's straight Puerto Rican, right?
That's holiday.
That's it.
That's Christmas. That's New Year's. When you're doing a celebration, that's what's Puerto Rican.
There we go. We're celebrating the day.
This right here is an acquired taste, but it's my favorite thing on the whole. If they gave me a last meal, it'd be octopus from Jimmy. This right here is shrimp and steak, mofongo, which is made out of plantain.
You look good. Like, you're clearly not eating here every day. Like, take us through that process.
Was Big Pun a part about that when he passed?
Jersey's there, yeah. You know, Big Pun, you know, we weren't educated. So at the time, I was right behind him. So say Big Pun was 500-something pounds, I was 480, 490. Literally 490. And so I stand next to him, so I don't look as big, but I'm really, really big. He passed, and then I had a second friend pass who was younger than me. He was like 20-something. He had a daughter my same age, and I went to the funeral, and it looked like Ebenezer Scrooge. And I was just looking at my life, and I said, man, this guy was even funnier than me. He was a better guy. I got to get on my health thing.
How did you become such a big Knicks fan?
I was just born into the Knicks. I would watch it at night. My favorite players definitely be Patrick Ewing. It would be Stephon Marbury. It would be Mark Jackson. It would be Carmelo. It would be Skywalker, Bernard King. So many amazing Knicks players. I'm just so diehard to the Knicks.
You need your own show. You got something in the books, right?
Yeah, what's brewing?
Now, I have a talk show, Big Show, the Fat Joe Show, coming on Stars Network, produced by LeBron James, Spring Hill.
And you're interviewing people?
Yes. Executive produced by Diddy. And so we brought all the powerhouses together. So I'm interviewing people, strictly A-list people, uplifting, inspirational.
Well, this is great, man. This is great. Thank you for this
Thank
day.
you so much,
Thank you
my
for the
brothers.
food, for the little history lesson on hip hop, and congratulations
Appreciate
on all
you,
your
my brother.
success, my
Thank you
man.
so
Thanks so much, man.
This is
Appreciate
awesome.
you.
Not so fat Joe.
Lead that.
Can't forget the Bronx where all the drama is cooking. Let's go.
Obviously, Eli and Sean and Fat Joe had themselves a good time. The Eli Manning Show with Season 3 is coming your way in 2023. When we come back, a superstar in her own right, Ashlyn Harris, joins us here on Giants Access Blue, presented by Ford. Welcome back to Giants Access Blue, presented by Ford. Ashlyn Harris was a standout for the United States women's soccer team, and she played professionally for New York, New Jersey, Gotham FC. But now she's in the front office. For this episode of Her Playbook, here's Madeline Burke.
Welcome into the latest episode of Her Playbook presented by Nike. My name is Madeline Burke, and joining me this week, she's a 3-time college national champion, 2-time goalkeeper of the year, and of course, a 2-time World Cup champion, Ashlyn Harris. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It is such a treat to have you in studio today talking about what an incredible career you've had, both on the pitch and off of it. Right now, I mean, I just want to start with this new role you've got here. You're the global creative advisor at Gotham FC. Mm-hmm. That's often a hard challenge for a professional athlete who's accomplished so much you have in the world of sport to take your talent to something next. How did you decide to turn the page and to pursue this next chapter?
Wow, that's it's such
right
a. I know it is. It's good to be here, and no, it's interesting, right? So many people ask me about this, and it's for me. I've been doing this for so long. I knew so as a female athlete, we know that we don't get paid fairly. We won't have the financial resources that our male counterpart would have. And for me, I knew that for me to build out a long-lasting career, I had to put a lot of work in off the field, which meant building my brand. Who was I? Like, what did I want to be? What did I want to stand for? And I really took a deep dive into what was next, because I knew sports had a shelf life. There was no guarantee, right? I at any moment I could get hurt. At any moment, anything could happen. And I really invested in my brand. And that was building sponsorships, really understanding what it meant to be a social influencer, an ambassador, and figuring out what hits on social media and what doesn't, and how to navigate in social settings. Being articulate when you speak to people, being good on camera, started taking acting classes, started doing poetry stuff. So for me, I wanted to be well-rounded. So for me, the transition was super easy. Yeah. It was so easy. It was really, it was a really good time for me to create the change that I wanted to see, because I wasn't able to do it while I was playing. Right. And I was kind of holding too many roles at one time, trying to push and develop women's sports and really put women's soccer on the map. And it was hard to do that while I was playing. So now I've just transitioned into this role at an incredible time. There's so much momentum in women's sports and in women's soccer. And now it's just like I hit the ground and I took off running.
Right. 2015 and 2019 World Cup champions. I remember I went to that 2019 ticker tape parade. You guys had so much fun.
Oh my God, I was having myself a time.
That was such a fun team. But going through that process, first of all, I just want to know, like, when you look back to those years, there was a lot of ups and downs that you were going through in that time, but what sticks out? What do you remember most about those championships, those eras?
Yeah, so I will, for me, everyone asks what your favorite time, like what my favorite group or time or team. And I have to say, every year is so special, and to play for the U.S. women's national team for over 10 years is crazy to even say out loud. Right. But that 2019 team ticked different. Yeah. I think why people got so down and just like supported our team to a whole different level is because we finally were just super unbuttoned. Yeah. I think women's sports, we have to walk this really tight rope and this tight line where you have to be the girl next door. You have to be pretty. You have to like sit down and be quiet and you like be grateful, You need to be grateful for what you're getting. And I think that 2019 team was just like, let's go. Yeah. Like we were just getting ripped apart by scoring too many goals. And what male sport do you like a blowout? No one's like, oh, you should probably score less. Like we finally were like, I'm so tired of being put in a box as a female athlete. We're going to blow this place up. And I think you just saw people in a different way. I grabbed my phone. I just started filming the whole thing and it started going viral everywhere. And it was just so good to see that women talk crap, women drink, women have a good time, women have a little chip and edge to them. And I think people just were like, wow, they're normal.
You've always kind of been such a vocal leader in terms of standing up for what is important, what needs to change, especially when it comes to the equal pay fight. And that's something that, you know, when you look at how talented these women's soccer players are and just how much attention they're bringing to the game, to the world of sport, being at the forefront of that battle while also being on the field and playing for your country, for your club. What was that balance like for you?
Well, we had a running joke with the team that, yes, we are women and we can multitask. So we can be very good at sport and we can be very good at being trailblazers, bosses, entrepreneurs, doing all the things, fighting for what we believe in and pay equity. And I think you just saw we weren't going to stop. I think U.S. Soccer kept trying to make it go away, and we were just like, this will not end well for you. No matter how long this takes, you either do the right thing or we're going to make it impossible and miserable for you. And that was just the mentality we had in general. That's how we were on the field. We were bulldogs. I mean, we fought for the right things, and it wasn't just about us. We knew the second, you know, we made action like that to, you know, do a lawsuit against your employer. We knew it would transcend to other women in business. You know, it's not just about sport. It's women of all industries. It's teams in Europe and all these other like federations that then after we filed the lawsuit started doing the same thing and demanding more from their federation. So it created this incredible movement. And all it takes is one person to be like, this isn't right. We're not going to stand for this. It's not fair. We should be paid like this. We put in equal time and equal effort. Like we should be paid fairly for it. And I just feel like it really ignited something in a lot of women who were like, wow, they're right. I should be doing the same thing. I should be asking the hard questions. I should value my work and time. You know, it's an important conversation to have. And for some reason, women are really weird about it.
Was there ever a time in your professional career where you thought, is it worth it to play professionally? I mean, this is a sport you love. Did it ever challenge you in that way?
Yeah. I mean, if we didn't all feel that at some point, I would be very shocked. But, you know, Ali and we sit sometimes when we have these conversations and we feel like we're not being seen or heard. We're just like, gosh, what is it going to take? It's exhausting. It really is exhausting. And then we can have a few, you know, little moments where we're not exactly like happy with the standard and the expectation right now. But then we realize it is our job to hold everyone accountable. And it is hard conversation, especially with your general managers and your presidents and your ownership group. But it is our job to move this sport forward and women's sports forward. And we have to hold people accountable because we're living it. Right. That's the difference. Yeah. We live it every single day. And I'm in such a unique place where I'm on both sides now. I've lived as a player. Now I'm on the business side. So it's a unique perspective. And I have to like stand up for what's right. And putting the players first is always in the front of my mind. That player experience is the most important thing. And I have to keep waking up every day and shattering and knocking down doors, no matter how tired I am or how exhausting it gets or however amount I keep repeating myself and saying the same thing. Like, this is the importance of moving women, not just women's sports, women forward. Right. And we have to do the work. So no matter how much I complain or say this and I want this, I have to do the work. Yeah. It's actionable steps every single day to choose to do the work.
Yeah.
And that's what I do.
And doing the work every single day, and, you know, continuing to do so in the work that you're doing with Gotham, growing that sport. I mean, I know you're working with a lot of really invested businessmen and women and people that are really looking to watch the NWSL grow. What are you proudest of that Gotham is moving towards right now?
I finally feel like we're in a place where people get it. We're going to do this right, and we're going to do this big, and we're going to do whatever it takes to get where we need to be to make this franchise the best in the world. And that's the type of investment and commitment we need in women's sports. This is not a charitable event. This is not, I'm doing this because I have a few daughters and I want them to like think I'm the cool dad.
Right.
This is a good business move. Right. This is a good investment move. I love having people in our corner who get it. And we have that. And if we continue building and investing in the right places, we are going to make New York a huge soccer hub.
Ashlyn, thank you so much for just everything that you've done to make tomorrow and the future so much better for these next generations, and just such an inspiration. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
This has been such a treat. Ashlyn Harris joining Her Playbook, brought to you by Nike. My name is Madeline Burke. Thanks so much for tuning in.
That wraps it up for this week's show. Make sure you follow the Giants on Facebook.com/New York Giants, Giants TV, the Giants mobile app, Giants Twitter handle @Giants, always at Giants.com. For our entire crew, I'm Bob Papa. Thanks for joining us for this edition of Giants Access Blue, presented by Ford.